All right, let's get into this one, because every so often you get a game on the schedule that, on paper, looks like a bit of a snoozer, but then it turns into an absolute down-to-the-wire classic, and that's exactly what we got when the Sacramento Kings went to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers.
So, you look at the records coming into this one, and yeah, you can see why you might have glossed over it. You've got the Cavs sitting pretty at 26-20, trying to make some noise in the East, and then the Kings, who are really struggling at 12-34. You'd be totally forgiven for thinking this was going to be an easy night for the home team, but as we're about to find out, this game was anything.
You know, the first half was really a story in two parts. It started off just like everyone expected, but then it took a turn that I don't think anybody saw coming. Let's break down this incredible momentum shift.
I mean, right from the opening tip, Cleveland just came out on fire. They exploded to a 16-2 lead in what felt like the blink of an eye. The crowd was going crazy, and it honestly felt like this thing was going to be a blowout before the first quarter was even over.
So seeing the game just completely spiraling out of control, the Kings coach, Doug Christie, does something you almost never see this early. He benches his entire starting five, just yanks them all. It's a huge gamble, a clear message, and let's be honest, it's a move of pure desperation to find some kind of a spark. And guess what? It worked. Man, did it work. The bench came in, guys like Dennis Schroeder brought this incredible energy, and by the time the starters like Domantas Sabonis got back in the game, everything had changed. They just chipped away bit by bit and fought their way all the way back. And check this out. By the time they hit the locker room for halftime, the Kings hadn't just climbed back. They were actually in the lead, 71-68. The Cavs in that home crowd had no idea what just hit them. Just a stunning, stunning turnaround.
Okay, so after a wild first half and a tight third quarter, you just knew this game was coming down to the final moments. The energy in the building was insane, and every single possession felt like it was the most important one of the game. Let's dig into how this thing was decided.
All right, buckle up. 4 minutes to go. The Kings are up by 1. It's anybody's ball game. But then, with about 2.5 minutes left, Donovan Mitchell hits an absolutely monstrous three-pointer to put the Cavs up by 4. Now, the Kings had their chances. They really did. They got 3 clean looks from 3 in the final minute and just couldn't get one to drop. And that was it. Jaylon Tyson hits a little floater to ice the game, and the Cavs escape with the win. Wow, what a finish.
You know, a game this tight always comes down to the big players making big plays. So let's give some love to the guys who really stepped up and took over this game.
And you've got to start here with the Cavaliers superstar guard, Donovan Mitchell. When his team needed a bucket in the biggest moments, the ball was in his hands. No question about it.
He was just a bucket all night long. Ends the game with a massive 33 points. He was the guy carrying the load for Cleveland's offense, especially when things got tight.
And this was the play. This shot is what superstars do. It wasn't just the 3 points, it was the timing. It was taking the game by the throat when it mattered most. You can make the argument the Cavs do not win this game without that shot. Simple as that. But Mitchell wasn't out there all by himself. His running mate, the big fella Evan Mobley, played maybe his best all-around game of the entire season.
I mean, just look at this stat line. This shows you everything. 29 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists. He did a little bit of everything, scoring inside, crashing the boards, even playmaking for his teammates. Just a completely dominant performance.
Now, on the other side of things, man, you just have to feel for Domantas Sabonis. He put the Kings on his back and gave a truly heroic performance, even in a loss. Look at those numbers. An absolute monster of a game. 24 points, a crazy 16 rebounds, and he even dished out 6 assists. He was the engine for that huge comeback, and he kept them fighting right until the very end. And we can't forget the help Sabonis got. We got to give a shout out to the rest of the Kings. Remember that spark off the bench? That was Dennis Schroeder, who came in and dropped 21 huge points. And the vet, DeMar DeRozan, quietly chipped in with a solid 20 of his own. It took a real team effort to even make this game this close.
So, after an absolute thriller like that, you have to ask, what does it all mean? You know, one game can tell you a whole lot about where two teams are headed. And this right here really tells the story. For Cleveland, this gritty win is their 4th in the last 5 games. They are building some serious momentum. But for the Kings, it's a gut punch. That's 4 losses in a row. And a really tough way to continue a long road trip.
And here's where that leaves them in the bigger picture. The Cavs are cementing their spot near the top of their division, staying right in the thick of the Eastern Conference playoff race. For the Kings, though, they're still stuck near the bottom of their division in that brutal Western Conference.
And that kind of brings us to the big question, right? The knock on this Cavs team has been their streakiness. One night they look like they can beat anyone, the next they just don't have it. So winning a tough, ugly game like this, one they had to fight for, could this be the kind of win that finally helps them build a real, consistent identity? I guess only time will tell.